This evening we are with Mr. Stefano Sassi, the CEO of Valentino, alumnus of the year some years ago, and a past Bocconi alumnus. Good evening, Mr. Sassi, and welcome to Bocconi.
Thank you, my pleasure.
In a while you will meet the class number 42 of our MBA here at the SDA Bocconi School of Management inside the Leadership Series. And we are talking with a leader in a very specific sector like luxury and fashion. And I would like to start our discussion this afternoon exactly with a question that is focusing on the sector you are working in. There are clear signs of the fact that your sector is going through a process of massive consolidation. Financial groups, industrial groups are trying to accumulate firms in order to create big champions in the luxury business. In addition to this, digitalization in the communication, in distribution, is putting some challenges on companies already established, also with good brand names and reputed brand names like Valentino. How do you see these trends impacting the sector you are working in, and which are the challenges that Valentino is facing right now vis-a-vis these kind of things?
Italy is a land of geniuses and entrepreneurs, and still today many of the companies that are working and successful in Italy are owned by their founders. Which will be the future of these brands is something that we will see. We are going through a process of consolidation. At the same time, I think that this is a kind of industry that is very peculiar, meaning that, and we are one of the case, that even if you are not part of a huge group, you can be successful, you can exploit your potential and reaching a high level of performances. Valentino was starting this new process of development 10 years ago, not being owned by any major group, and we have been quite successful in our process development. It's true that on the other side, especially the French conglomerates are putting more and more attention on specifically Italian brands. This is an industry that is led by creativity, okay? And so, and this is something that is unique and making the difference to other kind of industry, in which if you have the capability to bring something to the market, something new in terms of trends, in terms of evolution, in terms of matching something that sometimes customers don't even know, but they realize later that is something that is desirable, you have the possibility to overcome all the limits of your size, all the barriers, entry barriers in this business and so on. I think that in Italy, one more time, Valentino on one side, Moncler is another good example, has demonstrated that in spite of the size and the fact of being part of a group, you can be very successful.
You were mentioning exactly the word creativity, which is the second question I want to ask you. Some years ago you graduated here, we were discussing before entering here, with a thesis on operational research, with a mix of sociology, organizations, operational research. So a mindset which was much more methodological. And then at the end of the day, you ended up your career from Cerruti to Marzotto and then to Valentino into sectors where creativity is important. My question for you on the personal side is, when we talk with MBAs, we always talk about mental resilience or mental agility. Mm-hmm. How a person that was trained in operational research and in the old economics disciplines, the desk course at Bocconi, has transformed himself into a person that is driving a very creativity-led business?
I think that is very much what is fashion today. Mm-hmm. I mean, a mix, a positive mix or a match that is working in a positive way between creativity and organization and a scientific approach. you would be surprised, but inside our companies there are many people, many guys coming from, students coming from Bocconi, that has deep analytical skills, and that they are essential in, let me say, 70% of our activity. Merchandising, business support, OTB, order process, CRM activities. There are a lot of processes that are based on a scientific approach that in fashion today, they are crucial. And if you consider, I think that all the cases of success in fashion are something in which the creative part as well as the management part, they are going together, aligned under a unique point of view and a unique vision and supporting one to the other. This is today the only way to be successful. And today is even more important considering that you are living in a world that is driven by the social media, driven by consumer coming from all over the world, in which marketing and communication are so important that you need skills that are not just on the creative side, but also on the analytical side. One of the efforts in Valentino was to put the two things together and to develop more and more processes that are based on figures, on analytical skills, to better understand the consumer, to better understand the results of some marketing efforts, to manage a retail network of 175 stores. That is something huge and that is very much based on figures and analysis. Yeah. So I think that today this is crucial. It's very important, as you said, managing a company that is mainly driven by creativity, to have this kind of flexibility and mental agility, because every single brand is something apart, has unique features, has unique rules, and you need to adapt your strategy, your way of working to very specific features of a brand.
So at the end of the day, you are putting together the creative soul with something which is the operational machine.
This is crucial, especially today, especially if you are reaching some certain kind of size, in which, a worldwide organization with subsidiaries all over the world, 85% of your business that is outside of Italy, you need to be in control.
Exactly. My last question for you, more on the personal side. Mr. Sassi, you were the mastermind behind the evolution path that Valentino made after the exit of the founder, Valentino Garavani and Giancarlo Giammetti, until the closing phase of the big deal with the Qatari family. So I understand and I know that these have been very hard times and very difficult times, because the transformation of the company was really what you were put in charge of. And when you do transformations, from time to time you make mistakes. And one of the lessons in managerial profession is always learn from your mistake. Can you tell us a little bit of 2 mistakes that you made that can understand how to learn from one's mistake?
Let me say that I have a very specific point of view on that, meaning that you do mistakes, I would say, maybe every single day, because you have to take decision, and sometimes you have to do that with a limited amount of information.
And sometimes also under stress time.
Exactly, in a very short time and so on. So this is part of, our life. But in the end, if you are successful, there are just minor errors. Something that sometimes I complain and I get upset with myself as well is mainly related to people. Because in such a business, I would say in every single business, but especially in this one, performances are very much people-driven. People can really make the difference. And if you are choosing the wrong people, you're making terrible mistakes. And you need then time to recover. It's something that you cannot turn right after turning left in 1 second. Takes time. Takes time because you have to prove people, you have to realize how they are, and so on. So I think that one of my advice, if I can, is whenever you have a certain kind of position inside an organization, before getting people on board, you should be very sure about. And meet this person many times, trying to talk about everything is possible, but to better understand the key features, the key characteristics of this person, because it's not just a matter of analytical skills or in general skills. It's a matter as well of the key features of the people. Are they winning? Are they supporting the organization in any possible situation? Are they winning people or not? This is crucial to be understood. Sometimes I did wrong. Sometimes I did wrong for also a sense of urgency. That is something that is pushing you to take a decision, and sometimes it's better to wait and to take time and to be sure that the people that you're getting on board are very team-oriented and part of the culture of the company.
So human capital is definitely something that matters inside companies like yours.
Matters 100%.
Stefano Sassi, thanks very much.
Thank you so much.